How y'all doing today? This is Conscious Thoughts. This is King Harp, and I'm in the building with my guy Skunk Face and my guy Wahab. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Excited. Good morning.
You know, it is a good morning, man. I mean, we here. It's kind of cold, but I think we gonna manage. We gonna manage. You got the scarf on with the jacket, man. He all warmed up, man.
Got a short t-shirt with you.
Yeah, man. Listen. I'm trying to show something off. So, I'm trying to show something off, man. Shouts out to my camera guy, Prime Visuals. Shouts out to DMTS Radio for letting us use the space. So we're gonna start this off. The NBA started this week. You know, a lot of teams played. You know, a lot of people want to see LA play. You know, a few other teams. I saw Golden State play. Did y'all see any of the season opener games?
I mean,
I gotta be honest. I don't watch any sports really. Yeah.
Nah, I mean, I watch it a bit though. I mean, I know like Lakers obviously is everyone who they're looking at, you know, to like see LeBron how they're gonna fit in. But
they 0-2, man.
I know they lost last night to the Rockets. I was actually watching that game.
Oh, you saw the fight? Did you see it?
Actually, yeah, I saw like
I saw the first half.
Yeah,
and then
and I pulled up on Instagram as well. Like that was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. They said Rondo spit in Chris Paul's face.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And that's why he mushed him like that, and so then Rondo just he caught one, but people didn't see the punch that Paul threw. Where he was like, you feel me? And then Ingram comes in trying to knock Chris Paul's head off. You know, but honestly, that's the kind of stuff I like. You know, call me a rebel, call me whatever.
Yeah.
But I like seeing stuff like that because it's basketball. Like, forget all this, like, yo, we cool, man, you my boy. Nah, after the game, yo, that's what we talk about after the game.
Right.
You know, yo, I bust your ass today. Yeah, yo, you bust my you think you tough. Like, but it's something that I like seeing competitiveness. I like seeing people play like that because it means something. To me, nowadays, people look at stuff as, like, a grain of salt. It doesn't really mean nothing. Like, if you get paid a certain amount of money or something like that,
right?
It doesn't matter.
I see what you're saying. Like if you're fighting over a game, like then the game must be important to you.
Defense is not there, right? That's what they said.
You know, I think for the season opener, I saw the Celtics play. Man, I think the Celtics is gonna be the team to beat. I think they're gonna go to the finals this year. Yeah. You know, I don't know about Golden State, and I'll say that because it's just. I can usually see certain stuff with a team, especially when you repeat. But with them, I just feel like they think they're so great. You feel me? They think that they're unstoppable, they're unbeatable, and I feel like this year is going to be the year. And I'm not trying to jinx nobody, but I think that somebody's going to get hurt, and it's going to force somebody else to step up. That's what I think. That's my hypothesis for this season. That's what I think was gonna happen in the playoffs. I could be wrong, but
you watch football though?
Yeah. I do fantasy.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Like I said, I don't watch many sports, but I start paying attention around playoffs. You
got a favorite team?
Then I start going.
Yeah, well, actually, my girlfriend, her brother, he used to work for the Eagles for like 15 years. So I got really am supporting them, and then right now he's the VP for the Niners. So I'm supporting like those two teams because of
hey man, listen. Yeah, well, my other host who's not here, shouts out to Yogi. He's an Eagle fan.
Yeah.
Die hard. I'm talking about die hard. He was there.
Yeah, well, were you wearing like an Eagles shirt or Eagles sweatshirt in LA?
Yeah.
We went to LA like beginning of September. He's just like rocking with this Eagles hoodie.
How was it? I wasn't in LA.
It was lit, dude.
First time?
Yeah, it was my first time over there.
It was my second.
We had to get like a taste of the weather, you know.
Yeah. I went like 10 years ago, so it was my first time like after 21. So it was.
Y'all just went out there chill?
Like a little bit of both. Like I said, we wanted to get a feel of like what it felt out there. Like just like to see everything. Cause like that's everybody's dream is like, oh, I want to go to Hollywood. You know what I mean? But like when you go out there and you see like how people are really living out there and like everyone's just moving faster, but like it's just different. It's a different vibe, and it's like I could get used to this, and you just like then you start visualizing. It's just part of the manifesting process.
Yeah.
So you got to get those tickets. You got to get over there.
Yeah. What like is it? Does everybody like smoke blunts? Like walk around smoking blunts?
Papers. People smoke papers over there usually. Like, but obviously, I was looking for blunts. I brought Dutchess actually from the East Coast.
Oh, for real?
So I still had Dutchess, but then after that, it was like
I see that on a plane. He brought Dutchess for some reason. He just bought him at the store.
It was like accidentally.
Like, see, with me, like, I can't roll papers. Like, I
No?
just not. Like,
Bro.
I tried. I failed.
Oh my
every
god,
single
dude!
time.
I can't imagine that there once was a time I didn't know how to roll. Because it just comes so easy. Like I could just
a lot.
one knee on the steering wheel. Like,
Yeah, see,
quick,
just the invisible.
quick, man,
Like,
it's quick.
Yeah, I
quick,
could
and
tell.
it's so convenient. It's so convenient. It's
See,
like,
I'm
that's all I
not-
do. I can't smoke out of bowls or pieces like that no more.
See, oh, you
I
can't?
can, but it's like I gotta roll.
Nah, but
something.
it's
Get
when
the
you
full
when you
experience.
smoke a blunt and then you smoke like a paper or a cone or something, you can tell the difference immediate. Like I could tell the difference immediate. But it's just a blunt is just what you know, like you go get a Dutch, crack it down, roll it up.
Yeah.
And it's like I remember my brother, he was like telling me, he was like, yo, you gotta when you split it down, he said you gotta rip one half off because it's taken away from the weed and stuff like that. And I was like, yo, how do people be knowing this? Like,
Yeah, I don't usually do all that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I know a lot of people that do.
There's like a strip in the middle that a lot of people don't really look at, and like if you can kind of see it from the outside. If you can crack it down there, you can remove it. Yeah, it's I don't know. It might be like OCD for some people, but it gets off like this glue strip. Yeah, like.
So it works for me. I do it.
Yeah, no.
But it was like it took me. I'm not gonna lie. It took me a long time to learn how to roll, man. Yeah. It took me like.
No, like. Skunk face, dude. I'm telling you, man, we could roll something.
Nah, cause I started like late in my life. You feel me? Like
I
started late in my life smoking. So it was just like when I first started, it was like here and there, like I want to get high today,
right.
Every couple of days, and then it was like once I got back home from college, like
then you start smoking like a fiend.
Yeah.
I've been smoking like a fiend for a couple of years. Yeah, but I started when I was like 15. I'm like, like you said,
like,
here and there.
even my brother, like my brother was young when he started, and it's just ever since then, like when I've been doing it, I was like, yo, what the heck was I missing out on? I said, what am I missing out on? Cause
I don't know how people go without it. What, you don't smoke weed? Like, you all right?
Yeah, and
is everything all right?
See, and that's my thing, because it's like in this world, like I feel like this world is crazy. It's crazy I'm not sure you guys got jobs, right?
Yeah.
And y'all striving to one day not have one, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm in the corporate.
Yeah, that's the whole mission.
8 to 5, like.
That's the whole mission.
Yeah.
And but it's like I feel like when we go, it's like a movie because we're handed our script. When you get hired, you're handed a script, and then they tell you to keep the script, and they give you policies. You have to know all these policies because you can't act out of these policies, and you have to act in the guidelines of your job. So you basically have a script to go to work because you have to do all this stuff. And and then I just look at it. I was like, yo, this junk is crazy because it's the same thing every single day, and it starts to be crazy. And then
It's a script in life. It's more than just work.
And
actually, Kanye was saying that in one of his, what was it? I think it was his interview. Oh, actually, it might have been the one on Saturday Night, or either that or it was with what's his name? One of the
TMZ one.
No, bro. What interview was it?
Was it? Because I only saw like
he said it. He was like, we're given a script. He's talking about his daughter, jumping at the dinner table, and you tell a 2-year-old or 3-year-old, no, don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they have to follow through with their script. This is how you're supposed to act. You know what I mean? And it starts when you're little, and then by the time you're an adult, you have all these little things thrown at you. He was saying something to that effect.
No, but it's the truth.
You know what I mean?
And I was like, because I had an epiphany, and I looked so deep on life. Like I looked so deep, real deep into it. And I feel like every time I think, I'll be like, yo, am I crazy? I was like, I feel like I wake up, I do the same thing, and it's like, I know, and it's like, I'm not trying to diss my job or anything, but I know it's something that I don't want to do for the rest of my life. Right. And it's like, my sanity is going home, smoking the L, and just, all right, this is temporary.
It's self-care.
Yeah, this is temporary. This is not gonna always happen. But it's like in this world, there's so much crazy stuff that go on, especially in workplaces. Especially like you can't go to a movie theater and be safe, you know. And it's so much stuff, so much sanity in the world, and then people just tell us like, oh, you know, God's got everything. You know, God's gonna take care of stuff. And it's like, yo, look at what we're living in right now.
Like no, there's no getting out of this unless you're actively trying to. Like no, like God's got it, but like God doesn't. God, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going anywhere.
Exactly.
If you don't move, you have to move.
See, and
he even said you want. And if they say God's got it, the Bible even says faith without works is dead. So you could sit there and say God's got it your whole life, and if you're not doing anything to change the situation, you know, like you ain't going. God's got it. Yeah. God's got it.
And it's more to those words, you know. When usually when people say that, it's followed with action. You know, and I feel like when people say that, they look for something to paralyze them, to stand still, like a miracle or something is gonna happen or anything like, you know, he's gonna send me this and he's gonna send. But the thing is that if you don't have faith, nothing will work.
Right, and it's different than when you're sitting there and you're saying God's got it every day and going about you working your 9 to 5, coming home watching 6 hours of TV and going to sleep, and then God's got it. That's different. But then it's different when you're making this phone call, sending that email, going to this meeting, and you're making these moves outside of work, and you go, you know what I mean? And then you're saying God's got it. Now that means a little something more. You know what I mean? Once you're making these moves behind the scenes, and you're not just working that 9 to 5, you're striving for something better.
Exactly.
You know, and then you're saying God's got it.
Yeah, and it's
like
really
I said,
and I want to make this clear. There's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. If you love your job, you love your job. That's what you're supposed to do. But I'm just talking to the people who don't, you know. And I feel like a lot of people get offended by the stuff I say, and I forget that I'm talking for myself. You know, I'm not talking for no one.
You know why people get offended? People get offended because it yanks on the ugly truth, and they damn. And it's like, oh, well, I'm working 9 to 5. I'm not happy either. But like, how come he can do something about it and I can't? And then it triggers those unhappy emotions. They're like, you make people realize that they're living a mediocre life. And so go ahead, feel uncomfortable. It should make you feel uncomfortable. It should offend people. It should offend you. You should feel like that. Yeah. You're not supposed to be doing this. You know? Yeah. Like we're not really living. I mean, you know, we're existing.
It's like existing. We are. And then it's like, cause we're gonna jump on Kanye West too, but like I was watching something he said on Saturday Night Live, and it really like hit me, and he was like, people say that I'm the crazy one, I'm the insane one, and he was like, well, you know what? No, he said they say that I'm the crazy one, I'm insane, I'm in the sunken place right now, and he was like, you know what? He was like, and he looked at the crowd. He was like, I'm not the one. He said, y'all the one in the sunken place. You know, and when he said that, you know, he said some other stuff after that. That's not what he said. That's quote for quote. Right. But that's just what he was saying. And when he said that, I started to think, I was like, what he's saying, because you got to explain it to people who just want to grab on one thing. Yo, he's crazy. He's insane. Whenever somebody talks about something that goes outside of their norm, they're going to say you're crazy. People are going to say I'm crazy because I talk about stuff that goes outside my norm. I'm not normal in any way, shape, or form. Never was. I tried to be. Our parents tried to make us be normal. Yeah, go to school. Yeah, do that. Like, I was the bad kid in school. I'm pretty sure anybody now that's out here trying to be boss was the kid that had problems in school. You know,
you can't conform.
Exactly. You know, and there's something wrong. Like sitting there, I just didn't want to learn that stuff. I wanted to like go outside and play in nature, do stuff like that, hang out. And it's just funny how when you actually just look back at the kid and you look back at your innocence and you saw how like you were willing to do stuff. You saw how people just you could just do whatever and there's no you can roll in the dirt, you can make a mud pie, you can be a kid and be creative. And it's like what they do now is we stop kids from being creative at a young age. We tell them, nah, you know, you got to go to school or you got to do that, and but the kids have the most creativity. And
Yeah, I have a. She's gonna be 3. My daughter. Next week. Yeah.
How how is it? Just being
like
a father.
Just like you're saying. And I watch her, and I try to give her a lot of freedom to do whatever she wants, as long as it's not, especially when we're alone. In the house or whatever. As long as she's not breaking shit. But I let her run around. I let her play with whatever. She'd rather play with these water bottles and her toys. You know what I mean? But I just look at her freedom. When we go outside and she can do whatever she wants. She has no worries. She's just every day. I just learned so much from her. You know what I mean? They go by their senses, and they're always in the moment. They're not thinking about yesterday. They're not thinking about tomorrow. And that's what real happiness is, man. And so, and then I fast forward. I'm like, how did I lose that, and then get here, to this place where we're not happy as an adult, because you're living in the past or you're living in the future. You get the anxiety of the future, I'm not where I want to be. I know I got to get there, and you're chasing this bone that's hanging in front of you. But that's the thinking about the future. But you're never really enjoying the present, because you never have the future. And when the future comes, the future's still gonna there's still gonna be a future that you're never gonna touch physically. You're always gonna be in the present. Yep. So that's what I learned from the kid, just watching her. She's always in the present.
To live more in the present.
Always in the present.
You got any kids?
Nah.
I don't got kids. I don't have kids either.
Yeah, nah.
I don't have kids yet.
Yeah, nah.
Oh, yeah, I want 10 of them, yo. I gotta get rich first, though.
Yeah, kids cost a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm gonna start again when I'm 40 something. Then I'm gonna start.
Yeah, but I mean, what you saying is that's just powerful, and that's just a kid. But it's cause I run it my girl, she got a daughter, and it's I remember how my parents was. I love my parents to death. I love my parents. I love my sisters, my brother, everything. But I didn't feel everything they did was correct. I didn't feel certain stuff, just because somebody told you that it was good, was it? Yeah. Did you feel in the inside that it was really good?
Yeah, did you really believe that?
And I'm not taking a shot. I love my parents, but I just said there's stuff that I agree with what they did, and there's stuff that I didn't agree with. And so, because I don't want a kid to ever stop being who he was being. My parents, by any way, shape, or form, they never did that. They always told me, yo, be who you want to be your own man. My father never put no pressure on me. But there was just certain stuff I didn't agree with, and as life went on, my father learned how to deal with me with certain issues. Yeah. So he did shy away from what he did before, and he was like, all right, I'm going to deal with you this way. I'm going to deal with her this way. I'm going to deal with, because I got 4 kids, and y'all got all different personalities. Yeah. And I got 2 daughters that are just crazy. So it's I respect them, but one thing I learned is that I try not to be quick to I try to be more quick to kind of understand and really see what the child is going through at that moment, or when they're doing, or even when they're just playing with themselves. I remember one time, I'll never forget this, she was sitting in the room and she was just playing, and her imagination was just magical. Just what she started calling mom, and I'm thinking she's calling her mom, so I'm yo, what happened? But she's
the toys calling
playing, mom. And it's just how she was in a whole nother place in her mind. Yeah, she was going I could walk by the room, stand there, she didn't even know I was there, because she was just in her own mind, and that's just
I remember playing like that as a kid. Yeah,
no, me too. As a kid,
I did that till I was probably 9. Old as shit.
I used to this is crazy.
Maybe even 11. I don't know.
I was in elementary school, and what I used to do was I used to play football with my pins. People used to sit there and watch me I would have a good time just sitting there. My teacher's put those away. What are you doing? I'm but I didn't care. They're yo, Mike, why are you playing? Oh, I want to play football right now, but I can't. So I'm just going to do the next best thing. But it was just my imagination. I'll score 100 touchdowns. I had 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah. No, my shit was the G.I. Joes, right? And I was always fighting these G.I. Joes. And I remember the switch when I went from kid to adolescence. I had to be 11 maybe, or 12. And I was playing, and I was just wait, what am I doing? And then I just put the toys away, and I never picked them up again. It was just like that, bro. I was just playing on the floor. I was wait. I had a revelation. I was just what am I doing?
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
What am I doing? And then I was just a teenager then. And then I went on to grow up, I guess.
See, man, but that was the point. You stopped your growth. Yeah. You didn't think you didn't have that free mind as a kid no more.
Yeah.
You judged yourself.
Right. Yeah.
I'm too old to do.
It was like that Adam and Eve moment. You realize you're naked. You're like, oh shit. Oh, shit.
But it's like, even though you realize
yeah.
that you was naked, but the thing is, there's nothing wrong with still having that childish part of you. Because if you have kids, you still have to keep
That's
it.
what my kid brings out of me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah, no, I get in there. Little imagination, and we'll get lost in the same story. Like,
did you ever play with like toys, action figures when you were growing up?
I mean, I did. I feel like mostly like, I mean, like, you know, like those Matchbox cars and stuff like that. Like, I went crazy.
Definitely Matchbox cars.
Yeah. Mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not a bad deal.
I think I got like 25 boxes of them.
It was like
probably.
the Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
The Hot Wheels were like $1.
Yeah,
they're like $1 at the stores. Yep. And then I used to like sweep my grandfather's driveway, give me $2. I'm like, go get two more Hot Wheels right now.
But it's just crazy, like, just when you was a kid, and it's like, the only thing that I can say that I still do, I play video games.
Yeah,
like,
I play once in a while. I don't have like a gaming system like that. Like I just be like,
I pretty much play every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I actually got on that Fortnite, mode. So I got Xbox, but I pretty much play that and like Rocket League. But I play like sports games as well here and there. But yeah.
Oh man,
I'm playing 2K.
Yeah, 2K, Red Death, man. Madden, I play Madden, but I play 2K because I play in the parks and stuff like that.
Right.
So like that's entertaining, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm
entertaining.
Yeah,
it was like some kid. I knew he was young. He got mad at me yesterday because my team was not that good, but his team was nasty. We beat them. So he got so mad. He sends me a message after. He's like, yo, y'all were trash. Yeah. And I started laughing because my girl's sitting there. And so she's like, what? She said, what you laughing at? I said, yo, this dude just hit me up and said I'm trash. So I sent him a message back. I said, there's always the person that loses that talks the most trash. And like, he never said anything
you
back.
You said shit.
But it's like,
talks the most shit.
Yeah, but it's like some of them take it serious. Like me, I'm not gonna lie. Before yesterday, I was losing a lot of games online. But it's like, I didn't care. Like, it's still fun, like, to me, you know? Yeah. And it's like, some of them, they take it to the extreme, like.
Yeah, no, I still be playing the campaigns, bro. It's me getting lost in my fucking. That's my imagination. I'll be like, oh, damn, I'm really in this bitch. I'm really here, yeah.
Did you ever did the virtual reality thing? Yeah.
With the glasses?
With the thing?
My eyes are already fucked up.
I know, I never did.
I've tried it once because my brother-in-law had that. It was like this spooky little thing he walked me through. So I put it on my glasses, and then it was like a haunted house thing. It's like shit popping out at you, but like other than that, like I never really.
Yeah, nah, I never did it. I'm kind of afraid.
We're in the future, bro.
Yeah.
That's like something that would be on the Jetsons, yo. For real. Facts. We're in the future.
Yo,
bro.
It's really...
Yo, we already got holograms. Like, we got everything, bro.
Yeah, we do, man. The stuff that they have...
kind of just snuck up on us.
Well, we'll never know all this stuff that they have because they got stuff that they said we're like 10 years behind in technology.
Oh, bro, more than that.
Yeah, I believe it's more.
They had internet in the 1800s.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Damn, I gotta look that one up, man.
Yeah, you got to.
See, I like hearing stuff that when I hear people say stuff, it makes me want to go.
Yeah, go look it up
and then see if it's true.
Yeah, dude, they had some shit, and they're saying. I read something that they thought like the pyramids might have had like some like Wi-Fi access to. They didn't call it Wi-Fi, but like they thought it like gave off its own like.
Well, because of the energy.
Yeah.
But
definitely a way of collecting energy.
Yeah. But they said those things are like the way they're set up. Well, the thing is that I've seen so many videos about the pyramids that it's like I don't really. Some of them don't make sense because people just say it's nothing.
How come the Bible doesn't talk about the pyramids?
Exactly, you know. And how come Jesus is not in an encyclopedia? Have you ever seen him in an encyclopedia, anything like that? Like, and those are the questions that you ask. Like, if he's so important, why? Like, I was in school. I saw some people. They had encyclopedias from A to Z.
Right. Yeah.
All right. I looked at it. He's not in there. So if he's this important figure, why isn't he in something, you know, why isn't he in here?
Yeah.
And I'm just adding, that's a real question.
Yeah. You know, that they can't answer.
You know, and it's not, like I said, I'm not taking, my thing is this, when people come at me and they say these things like, oh, you know, you should come to church with me, you should do that, and it's like, for what?
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
I'll go for fellowship.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
one of these days I'll probably go and meet people and talk to people. But like, as far as like, that's where my biggest thing comes up with the whole religion thing.
Yeah.
I could believe that there is a God. I believe about that much, you know, and that he could talk to you and through different ways. And I believe in like there's some supernatural shit going on that we don't have all the answers to. Yeah. So yeah, there is a God. But once the whole Jesus thing get like, that's what confuses me. Like, I don't know if you could call a man God. You know what I mean? He was a man just like us.
Exactly.
And to call like a man holy and perfect, bro, like everyone has desires and itches. You know what I mean? So it's like that's where I kind of start drawing the line and start exploring other things too. You know? But
my thing is this. Like the beginning of the Bible, it states something so clear, and it says, like, you are made in the likeness, in the image of me.
Yeah.
So when you hear something like that, that means that somebody's telling you, if I'm made in the likeness and image of you, I'm just like you. So I can be what you are.
Yeah.
Right? People get scared when they go,
that's a scary thing, yo.
Like, but what is Beyonce? What is Jay-Z? Our idol is just like a god. That's what it is, because who are you worshiping?
Right.
People buy Beyonce tickets, sell out.
Yeah.
That's who you worship.
It's almost like God. It's almost like we're the AI.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then we just lost control of creation. Maybe.
Nah, they do. People don't. And the thing is, people don't look at it as deep. Like, there's mad people that love Beyonce but go to church, but will pay. You feel me?
They wouldn't pay that much for a church service.
And it's like she don't stand for what y'all think she stand for. But it's like people will sit here and still. That's her. They'll look past it, and that's what the problem is. And it's just everybody looks past certain things. Like, oh, you did this, you did that.
That was another one of my things too, growing up, because my parents were very religious, and that was my like thing with them. It's like, how could they pick and choose which sins to harp on? You know what I mean? How am I sinning because I'm smoking weed, but you still eat at McDonald's?
Exactly.
How?
Same thing.
So if you're gonna, if I'm a sinner for smoking weed, which I'm not, because God likes weed, like He put it here for a reason, right? We got receptors in our brain for a reason. Yep. So, anyways, but if that makes me a sinner, then you eat at McDonald's makes you a sinner, or like you said, you worshiping Beyonce makes you a sinner. But like, oh no, there's nothing wrong with that. Nope, but that's okay. It's like, no, you don't get to pick and choose. You don't get to pick and choose. And, you know, so I don't even get into that with them anymore. You know what I mean? I'm just like, this is what I believe, man. Is God is what makes the sun go around and makes the freaking.
No, it's true, but I'm gonna ask you a real question.
The grass
what is sin? You know, what's the definition of sin?
Yeah.
You know,
your only sin is a sin against yourself.
Exactly.
What what makes you feel uncomfortable with yourself? You know what I mean? What makes you feel guilty? You know, that's what's in it.
But I'm gonna say like this: like, if I come in and it's like, if you reject knowledge, like if somebody's trying to tell you something knowledgeable, how to grow a business or how to do something to make you a better person, if you choose to reject that, that's a sin. You feel me? Like it's like people harp on the whole thing, like, because my parents was like the same way. But it's like this: for people who drink, I know a lot of people who drink that talk about people who smoke weed, which does not make sense. First of all, drinking is legal, but you still could kill somebody if you're too drunk, so you can't operate. Ain't nobody died from smoking weed. Ain't nobody name one accident where a guy say I was too high so I crashed. Then tell me one person that died.
I be driving 45 on the highway with my hazards on before I ever crash.
Exactly. Like, if anything, you're gonna be more safer because now you're like, oh, I gotta worry about this. I'm high, so let me focus on this, that, and the third. But it's like people look at stuff. And it's like, I get it, certain people can't smoke weed. If you don't know how to sit down and relax, you can't smoke weed.
Well, yeah, obviously when you first start.
Yeah, when you first, it's like, that's why, because with certain people, I feel like if they would just smoke weed, they'll be good. Yeah. Because it's like, people be so wound up. It's just wound up, like, relax.
It's anxious. It's anxiety, bro.
It's anxiety. It's bad. Like, even when I go to work, it's like people are so wound up, and everybody's trying to release, just be calm, relax, and just release. And it's like they can't because they're just holding on to stuff. And it's like with me, man, every morning, man, I'm feeling good going into work.
Yeah.
I feel great.
Because you're on a mission.
Yeah, I feel great. Not just on a mission, I'm on something else, but
Oh,
I feel
oh,
great.
yeah.
and I just be like, at some instances, it's like when I'm high sometimes, it's like I'd rather forget the argument. I'd rather go for the easy way. Like, all right,
Yeah,
I don't feel like arguing. I can't do
I'm looking
this
for
right
the
now.
exit. Sorry.
Yeah.
What exit we taking?
Well, all right, we can do that. Whatever you want to do, like,
right.
we can, you know.
Yeah,
it's,
I'm not trying to argue when I'm
Straight to the solution.
You
Bypass
know,
the problem.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, cause like I want to get my card. You know, I want to get my.
I used to have my card,
Oh.
and then I let it expire.
Oh, so you.
But I gotta go back and renew it. But yeah, no, I got that shit because I was in the military.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so then I just went and got diagnosed with a whole bunch of stuff, and I was just like, please, please. He's like, yeah. He's like, he didn't even look at the paper. I'm like, bro.
Hey man,
See
listen,
what?
it
Your
worked.
back hurts, your shoulders hurt. Okay.
It's I get like stuff from the dispensary too, man. No way, like I was like, man, I said this beat's taking pills and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And,
that's what I tell my probation officer.
Yeah.
He's like, so your shit expired. Why are you still smoking? I was like, what, do you want me on Xanax for anxiety?
But it's like, even with probation, and I'm not trying to, because I'm going to bring it back, because we're going to talk about Zombie Girl, but even with probation, why is that? Why are you getting tested for that? Like,
for yeah, right?
Yeah, for weed, like, if you test positive for it, like, what is so, like, I sat in a room with people who had bad drug addictions, crazy drug addictions, and they're telling me, like, you know, I just overdosed, you know, I did crystal meth,
Jesus.
and then they're like, oh, what are you here for?
Yeah.
For weed. Everybody's like,
you're like, get
you
out of
kidding
here.
me? Like,
hey, dude, you're not a.
are you kidding me, man? I just, I was drinking like 3 pints a day.
Yeah, they're like, you're not an addict. Yeah, like, what are you doing here?
And it's like, in reality, I'm like, yo, why am I?
It's
like,
a control, dude. It's scary, bro. If they made a movie on our society, you would look at this society and be like, dude, they're fucking crazy. Like, look what they eat. Look what they do to each other who smoke weed. They're smoking weed and they're going to these meetings.
Yeah.
You know what the fuck?
Exactly.
Yo, that's like that's kind of creepy, bro.
No, I mean, but
it's controlled, man.
I just, like I said, this world is crazy to me.
Yeah.
So if it's like, my thing is this: what are you doing if you're not drinking or you're not smoking cigarettes or doing this? Like, what are you doing to help keep yourself sane?
Everyone has something, right?
Exactly. Like, it's something. Either it's shopping.
Right.
You feel me? Or it's shoe shopping.
Some kind of escape.
Spending all your money.
Escapism. Gambling for some people. You know.
I feel like it's something because like you have to do something because it's just too much stuff. And when we watch TV and you see who our president is, and it's like you see Kanye West supporting somebody who clearly is a racist, who hate immigrants and all that other stuff. And it's just when I see stuff like that, I'm like, yo, if this is not crazy, what is? Like, this is actually like what we are seeing in front of our eyes. You get me? Like, and it's like you can't run away from it. Only thing you could do is like, and the thing is that if you ask somebody, they'll be like, wow, you know, this is just, you know, it's whatever. Like, they just rub it to the side. And I'm like, yo, this is what's happening in our world right now, whether you choose to, like, hurricanes, floods. Why is all this stuff happening? Yeah. You know, that's just me. I believe it's deeper, but we're going to hop on to the next thing. And Zombie Girl video, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Zombie Girl video, dude. No, yeah.
So tell me, first off, tell me about this song.
All right, so it was on this project. So I first released it as a single last year, like when we had met last year. Yeah. And then I told you we were working on an album. Mm-hmm. We just released it on the digital platforms right now. So we're waiting for like the physical copies to still come in and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's on the postpartum album, Zombie Girl. And I don't know, we just got a lot of positive feedback from it. So we were like, yo, let's do a video. I don't know if you guys heard of White Ape. He's a videographer, a director. And he ended up shooting, like, he does videos for like Troy Ave and Don ZOP and names like that. So he was like, my boy, I met him because my boy cuts his hair. And like they know each other from back in the day. So he was like, oh, you gotta meet my boy Ape, blah, blah, blah. You know, put the connection, we talk. You know what I mean? My boy was like, well, how? He's like, yo, let's do it, man. That's what we go, bro. Let's go. Let's do this video. We gotta do it. And I was like, yeah, let's go, man. So, you know, it worked, man. My boy Mikey put down like the deposit. He's like forked up money, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like everybody, we got a hotel room and it was lit. So he came in, it was like more official than I thought. It was dope. He like came with the whole set, felt like we were in Hollywood. And it was just like a little before we went to LA. So we were trying to get it done before we went out there. But so yeah, now this is like the waiting time. We're waiting. He's finishing up the editing process. So the zombie girl, yeah, we had like fake blood everywhere. Like it was dope. Bathroom was a mess. Bathroom was a mess.
And you make beats, right?
Yeah.
So did he help like make the song, the creative part? Or
No,
just
the beat
video?
was made. I don't know if you know of Zulu.
I think was that. Remember when we was on the show and you played a beat?
Yeah.
Was that his beat?
Yeah.
Alright,
Zulu.
Because you would tell me from Hartford, right?
Yeah.
From Hartford?
Yeah. That's my boy. Yeah. Shout out to Zulu.
So he did.
But he did the beat. Yep. And so.
So
yeah.
So we like after you dropping any more videos?
Oh yeah. So we had the Reflections video. You said you saw.
Oh yeah. Reflections.
That one was more like just me and my other boy Mikey. We were fucking around with the camera and stuff like that. And like, yo, let's see what we could do with it.
Yeah.
And like, fuck it, people like the song. Let's get a visual. So we went in this church and did all the shots and stuff like that. And it was fun. It was really dope, you know.
So let me ask you something with Reflection. What inspired that? Cause that like I listened to like just like a few bars. Cause you like I listened to like the clip with the few bars and there's these bars that stick out. And I was like, man, what made you think? Because first off, when I hear somebody say something, they also came into some type of knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, like they're not just saying something. And when you said what you said, it made a lot of sense. And I say, yo, he came into some knowledge. He saw something, and he's voicing his opinion. So
which part in particular?
It was the part where you were all talking about the church, and you was like, it's a corporation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I was talking about. Or do I see a corporation trying to steal from us? Black sheep is how I'm treated for rejecting all these Bible teachings. Yeah. And then I go, tainted relationships, all in the name of Jesus. You know, so that like goes, I was like talking about mainly like my dad and the way I was raised over there with him and my stepmom. Because they took me in from like 12 to 17. I lived with them. So those are like crucial years. Like you're growing, you know, you're experimenting, you're doing a bunch of, you know, so I was the black sheep because I'm like sneaking out to go to parties. I'm freaking smoking, drinking, you know, talking to mad girls. And it was just like, that's how it was in high school. You're a teenage boy. Like, but my dad was crazy back in the day too. So as an adult, when I know his story, I'm kind of like almost like hurt because it's like, dude, why didn't, I would understand, you know what I mean? If I have a kid, when she grows up and she starts doing stupid shit, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna totally reject her, you know, but I'm gonna talk some sense. But I don't know, we just have different views. So that's where that part of the song came. So I was like kind of talking about the church and how I noticed my dad, he puts away tithing money. Like he's avid with it. Got to tie it to the Lord, and gives it to the church, and like the church keeps getting bigger and bigger because everyone's tithing. You know what I mean? But what's going on with you? And why aren't you tithing to yourself? Why are you still living paycheck to paycheck and you're in your 50s and 60s? What the hell? What is wrong with the system now? What are your tithings doing? You know, the church should be giving money to us.
This is true. That's true.
The church, if you're really for the people, you should be tithing to us. You know what I mean? So these are the things I'm thinking like when I'm by myself, like, dude, maybe I'm not so freaking crazy. Like, maybe this whole place is crazy, you know? And there's just a few, you know, awoken ones. Yeah. But then I talk about my daughter in the song. Like, I never force my daughter to do nothing or tell her what to believe in. God is all around us, baby girl. Look at us breathing. So it's pretty much like God is literally the oxygen we breathe. Like, everything works the way it needs to. We don't got to tell our lungs to breathe or the white blood cells to do their job. Like, we don't got to tell the stars to do their job or the planets to move around. They just do it. Everything is the force, bro. Yeah. It's the force, bro. We are the manifestation of God. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? God, like, we are what gives God emotions. And we personify God. Exactly. You and I. And all of us.
Yeah, all of us. Because we are a representation.
Yeah.
And that's what the point is.
Yeah.
You are a representation. So when you act or you channel that energy, you are acting in the God energy. That's what you are. And that's what people don't understand. There's a lot of people that I could just see that are spiritual, and I know, like, I just can see them, and I know, I'm like, like, you got it.
Yeah,
like,
you're a creator, man.
Yeah, you're spiritual.
Yeah, I see you co-creator. Yeah.
And then it's like, versus people who tell you to do something and they're not spiritual at all. You know, so it's, you are the God. You got to learn how to be good to people, say good morning, do these good deeds, be for unity and for the society, and uplifting people.
Yeah.
That's what makes you a God, not because you go to a church every day and you listen to a word and you sit there and you say, thank God, raise your hand, then you go home and do the exact same stuff you've been doing before.
Mm-hmm.
It's about what are you doing to change? Like and like I saw this movie yesterday and it talked about sacrifices. And the sacrifice is something that everybody has to make.
Yeah.
You know, at
Dude,
any
and
point,
it's hard. It's scary too.
Everybody has to make a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people that won't. There's a lot of people who they live in fear and they're afraid to make a sacrifice, or they just don't want to because they're selfish. But in this society, you, me, my camera guy, you're gonna have to make a sacrifice. Maybe some people it'll be their life. Mm-hmm. Some people it'll just be a job. Some people it'll be a business.
Or your dream.
Exactly.
Sometimes you gotta sacrifice your dream. Like if you, like I look at it as like you have a dream. To, you know, you gotta live in the matrix for a little bit, but then you're gonna escape. That's how I look at it. We gotta escape. Sometimes people realize that at a young age, and then they give up and they sacrifice that dream for that comfort, the 9-to-5 comfort, that stability. At least I know I'm getting a paycheck at the end of the week. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But when you leave everything, like you said, you make that sacrifice. I'm leaving this job. I'm leaving this state. I'm going across the country. Fuck it, we're going. And then you make those crazy moves. It puts you that much closer to the dream, but you don't know for sure. Mm-hmm. And so that's why, that's where a lot of people don't. It feels easy, and everybody knew we'd all do it.
Yeah.
And
I think it's like one thing I'm learning now. It's about learning your body's language, mm-hmm. because we're taught to like look outward for answers instead of looking in. Mm-hmm. And I feel like our body tells us something. If we eat something bad, our stomach hurts. If we do something, if we don't say, like, I know one person that if a person didn't speak his mind or say nothing, he'll get like a fever blister on his leg. Like,
what?
Like our bodies get affected whenever we don't. Yeah.
Wait, what?
It's weird. Like people's bodies do.
I mean, if you chemicals, emotions.
If you feel some type of way and you don't say something, you get a cold sore.
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily. I'm just using that as an example.
But
it's what I'm trying to say is that whenever we hold stuff in and we don't say anything, we hurt ourselves. Yeah. And that's like with DNA and everything else. Yeah. We hurt ourselves.
It's a science, like science.
Exactly. And so in this world, you have to be able to speak your mind. You have to be able to tell people how you really feel. Mm-hmm. Versus, even if the person doesn't like it, regardless of anything, you're giving them the truth. People have to learn how to respect the truth. Like, if your shit sucks, it fucking sucks. Like, in a discussion,
and respect the truth, even if it's not always your truth.
Yeah, and it's like,
because the truth, no matter what, I look at it, perception is reality. Yeah. Right? We all got alternate realities, though.
True.
Everyone has different truths. You know what I mean? And what were you talking about? You said something earlier about crazy. Like, oh, am I crazy or something like that? Yeah. Like, that's dismissive. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't think anybody's crazy. Everybody's got their own truth. Even the dude in the loony bin that's like, like in his mind, this makes sense right now. You know what I mean?
But they'll tell him, the guy in the loony bin, he's crazy. But he probably came and said something to you, telling you the truth. But you don't know how to
grasp it. So it's like everybody has their own truth. So I'm like, I've learned to do that too. Like, just to like, if you're trying to tell me something, just like listen, because that's your truth. All right, even if I don't agree with it, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's your truth.
Yeah, it's your truth. And
not true for me, but yeah.
But it's
I respect it.
And it's like you gotta respect certain people. Like, there was a lady that came to my crib and she like knocked on the door. And so I just came and I opened the door. First off, like, the building's a lot building. How'd you get in? Yeah. So I like opened the door. Nobody was there. So like this car fell down. So I grabbed the car and she's like, "Oh, hi. We have a church in East Hartford."
She like dropped the track, like
we have a church in East Hartford. We'll let you know. We have transportation, so we could give you a ride out there. She was like, "Do you wanna hear about God?" And so I was like, "Nah, not really." And she's like, "You sure?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm sure." Yeah. And she like, "Okay." She just walked off and she closed the door. And so like, back in the day, I would have been like, "Yeah, sure." Like, let me listen. Like,
feel guilty. Yeah.
But it was like, I just was like, I didn't feel bad. And people would be like, "Yeah, what are you talking?" Like, I didn't feel bad.
Yeah, no, I used to feel bad if I was flipping through the channels and I hit the Christian channel. I was like, fuck, no, I can't change it. I was like, oh, no, we gotta go back. I'm going to hell if I change this from the station. I'm going straight to hell.
Because you judged yourself.
It's fear, bro.
Yeah.
The whole thing is based off of fear. And I grew up my entire childhood like worried about the rapture or worried about like, yo, is God coming today? What if I get left behind? Like, bro, hell no, I'm not trying to live like that, man.
And it's like,
I think you judge yourself when you die.
Yeah, you do. And
Your
it's
whole
like,
life
but who's
flashes.
to say dying is bad?
It's not.
You feel me? Like,
It's transforming.
we don't.
Science says energy cannot be created or destroyed. Physics says that. It only transforms. So if our souls is energy, it can't be created or destroyed. Which says that we were there in the creation when the universe started. Because the universe can't be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were always there. Our soul, our energy to our souls has always been here.
Yup.
Because it can't be created and it can't be destroyed. So that means when we die, we're gonna come back something else, or there's something. We're still alive in some matter. You don't fully just die.
Yeah.
You could reincarnate. Who knows what happens to our energy? Maybe you go to the sun. Who knows? Maybe you go to Jupiter somewhere.
We don't know.
You know what I mean?
And that's the point.
And that's the beauty of it, bro.
But
you
it's
just don't
like-
know. You just don't know. So it's
You
like
know,
I ain't worried about
But
it.
in this world, we're taught.
We're gonna die.
That's true. We're taught we're gonna die. It's a painful thing, and we see people like go through pain before they die. And I'm just like, for a person who like gets hit by a car and dies instantly, did they suffer?
I don't know.
No.
Nah, if you die instantly on impact,
Yeah.
you didn't really suffer. Like you're not, my
Right,
chest,
right.
and
I
then
hope
you're
I
like
don't die
bleeding
like
out,
that.
and you're like,
Right,
like
yeah.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, generally, yes.
Yeah, and it's like if you get shot in the head,
Right.
did you feel pain?
Never
And
happened,
this is what I'm saying is to like think about it, because
Yeah.
it's like you get shot. There's some people that got shot in the head and they live,
And they live.
but
So
for,
then I definitely feel bad.
yeah, but if it's somebody you get shot in the head, boom,
Yeah.
like
Hey, yeah.
did you were gone instantly.
Yeah.
That was it. You didn't suffer, like they didn't castrate you. They didn't do all that stuff.
It's just that people are scared of that transformation.
Exactly.
That's it.
And
People
the
are scared
thing
of
was,
change.
is the person that got shot in the head, they'll think they're still alive. They'll be
Right.
sitting there.
Who
and
knows? They don't even know what happened.
I was reading something, and they said that when people die, they can still think they're alive. Their soul still dwells in their body until they figure out that their body is dead, until it starts to rot. So once they feel like that's when they know that they're dead. So when I was just like, when I sit here and I was like, and people say,
I'm not trying to be trapped in a body, bro.
I'm not saying that's
Where'd you hear this?
But listen, they said that this is what they
Call
said. They
Google.
said you could get trapped in your body, or you could get trapped here. And they said that in Indian cultures, what they used to do when you died, they would burn your body so your soul can find its way
God.
to the
Dang.
can find its way to where it's supposed to be.
That's crazy.
Oh,
And
this is
now
what happened.
what I learned is that when people die, some people their soul, they stay here. They don't know where to go. They're lost. And
So that's how hauntings come upon and shit
Yup,
like that.
exactly.
Jesus, dude.
So
That
and
makes
it's-
so much
That's
sense.
crazy.
That's fucking with my
but
head,
it's
bro.
like, but that's the type of knowledge. But see, Skunk, that's the type of knowledge I want.
I want to know.
Yeah, like,
Right,
and it's
yeah.
like
I wanna
people are
fucking know.
afraid of it, and they're
I-
like,
no.
I don't want to know. I want to know.
I don't want to just say God's got it.
Exactly,
I
because
want to have the conversation with the man. Where am I going after this? What's the deal? I didn't ask to come here, did I?
Yeah.
Maybe we did.
and
And
we just don't
you
remember.
volunteered to give up memory.
Mhm.
I mean, because memory only comes from our brain.
Exactly,
Once the brain's dead, where's your memory? You have no memory. You're still the soul, though.
exactly.
You still have an identity.
Exactly.
So we got to become familiar with this identity
Mhm.
without remembering.
See,
And then
man.
you can possibly remember your past lives, but in the past life you had a different brain, so of course you're not gonna remember it.
No,
You know
you,
what I mean?
and you could have been a woman, and you could have
Could
like
have been
to
an old
me,
man, obviously an old man, but like,
It
could have been a rich
starts-
man,
yeah,
could
you
have been a
could've
woman,
been
could have been a
whatever.
kid. You know what I mean?
Born an old man.
But it's like
Oh, man.
with knowledge, like when we were kids, like our parents only knew so much, so they knew that
Yeah.
dying was a bad thing. So they told, well, it's a bad. But did you go on it? Back then, there wasn't no internet, so they couldn't search it. But we have internet now where you can search things and say things, and people still look at you when you tell them something that you researched or you looked at, or something where that made sense to you, it resonates with you,
Yeah.
you took it. they'll tell you you're not. That's not how it is.
Oh, where'd you get that? The internet?
So all right.
Where'd you get that? The internet?
So you're going there. So all right. Tell me some knowledge besides the Bible. And that's what I don't like about people is that
they have no outside knowledge.
Exactly.
You don't know anything about physics. You don't know anything about history. You don't know anything about math. Mm-hmm. How can you tell me about God when you don't know anything about these things?
Exactly. Simple things, Skunk Face. Simple things.
No, they'll I agree with that. I agree with that because you have to. Even the Bible says, "My people perish because of lack of knowledge." Like the truth is right there in the Bible, and the people that are reading the Bible aren't getting it.
No, they're not.
So it's like, dude, like it's right there. My people perish because of lack of knowledge. Mm-hmm. You're coming to tell me, and you want me to entrust my soul into something. Man, before I buy something at the grocery store, I'm weighing my options, okay? Mm-hmm. So if before I entrust my soul into something, it's gonna take a while, and I'm gonna weigh my options and figure out what's good, before I dive in. But
what's the best thing for your soul, man?
And you feel it. It goes back to feel how you feel, like certain situations. Like, if all right, bam, somebody called, I gotta run over here. Mm-hmm. Do I want to go? Do I need to go there? And I'll get that feeling in my stomach, like trust in my gut. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go there. All right, fine, I won't go there. Fuck it, I'm not doing nothing I want to do. So that's been like the code I've been living by. I'm not doing nothing I want to do. If I feel anxious about anything, I'm going to trust that gut feeling, even though I don't understand why, and we're going to cancel that plan or do this or do that. You know what I mean?
No, I got you, man. And but it's like, that's what I'm learning now. I go off for like senses. Like,
trusting your gut, man.
Go into a room and like if I feel like certain energies or I feel like a certain type of way, I'll leave. Yeah. I'll do something else because it's all about how my soul feels. If my soul not comfortable, like your soul knows, like it's like if you just chilling somewhere and you just sitting around a bunch of people, like something in you just like turns and walks away, and like you end up by yourself or somebody else comes and talk to you. It's where like your body knows. Mm-hmm. It knows.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of the numbers and frequency too, like the 111 synchronicity, the 222, the 333, the 444, the 555. That's nothing
but activating stuff in your mind.
Yeah,
and letting you know that law of attraction.
Yeah, like you're still in it lets me know I'm in the right place. Lets me know I'm still in the right place at the right time. Like sometimes I'll get in a confused situation, like all right, got to get back in my zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how people say, got to get in the spirit.
Yeah.
Like literally, moving and trying to manifest, yo. Think about how this place came about, DMTS. Mm-hmm. It started as a thought. It started as a thought. It started as a thought, and then it became word, and then it became a real life thing that you could see and touch, dude. With the hashtag and the logo and on the walls and the picture. Bro, that's how it is, bro.
It is crazy.
It's possible.
Anything, But what you said, man, this was kind of a powerful interview, too, because it's the real. It shows you both sides because like when I have conversations, I want to have higher conversations with people that goes outside of the perimeters of religion, Christianity, any type of religion. Yeah. Because you have to remember that it all started somewhere, and they're all based off of the same things. Mm-hmm. So to sit here and talk about your religion is better than this religion and better than that religion, like y'all all have the same principles.
It's such a small form of thinking, man.
Yeah,
it's a small form of thinking.
But before, like, I want you to just like tell me about Postpartum, the album.
Postpartum. Yeah. All right, so this album, it came up. I called it Postpartum #1 because I started working on it after my daughter was born, and it was almost like it had like kind of that significance, and it was also postpartum because it was almost like I was sitting on that thing for a while, working on it. It was like my little baby, you know what I mean? Yeah. And once I released it, this is the postpartum now, after birth, So, that's what it was. It's 8 songs on the track. Like the last one kind of has like a little freestyle at the end, so some say 9, but so it was dope. We released it like end of August, like beginning of September and everything. So now we're just like starting to like do the little pushing campaign thing. I'm trying to start like a video release party for my birthday. It's coming up. So I'll let you know definitely. Like I want to rent like a venue out.
So did you guys work together? Did he made a few beats?
Not for this next project that we're working on. We're about like halfway through that project.
Got you.
As far as writing and stuff like that. But he's been that one. He's been more involved with the beat making and stuff like that. When we had linked and started really working together, a lot of the songs were already finished.
Got you.
When we had got together, so we were like kind of picking which ones to put on the album.
a lot.
Yeah, a lot of it was Nitty. So he would come with me to the studio. We'd go to Ty Nitty's, or he's 2-4, the producer now.
Got you.
Yeah, and we record over there. So that's where we did that. But I'm looking to branch out. Like, I'm trying to go and, like, they just start building networks out there in New York City. Like, that's what I'm trying to be at. So when I record this next project, I want to keep pushing postpartum, you know, do my little hustle, doing performances, passing out CDs and stuff. But still working on the second project. So it's going to be his beats, but I want somebody from, like, New York to kind of engineer the whole thing.
Got you.
You know?
Yeah, we have some people in New York. For sure.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
No, it's like who like you got artists now too, or you got people you just work with right now?
Yeah, so I mean, right now I pretty much, like I said, I'm about like 3 years in or so. As of lately, you know, I've been pretty much trying to get the right sound, you know, like engineering wise. Yeah. So I've been working on that. I pretty much just been trying to better myself right now. I'm not necessarily taking on like clients, stuff like that. I got you. But yeah, that'll be coming soon for sure. Yeah.
Nah, I hear that, man. Listen, it's all a grind, man. And it's like, it's better, like when you guys got the same vision and y'all trying to do something, man, y'all working to make something big. Yeah. And so, and I'm gonna be real, when you find that, man, you gotta keep it, bro. You have to, man, because we help push each other. And that's, you always gonna, like, even me, like, the girl that put my lady, she pushes me. You feel me? And if I didn't have her to push me, it would just be me. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but you need somebody.
It's hard. Iron sharpens iron. Yeah, like, you need that.
You need somebody, and it's just like, cause it's like you could lose it so quick, and it's like there's days where like I have interviews set up and I just want to cancel them. You feel me?
Yeah.
But when I start
there's times I don't even want to record. Like,
exactly.
I don't even feel like it. It's like, well, I should want to. Like, why don't I want to? But it's part of the human thing. You're going through shit. You're doing this. You just don't feel like it, but no. You gotta keep moving, one foot in front of the other.
That's true. You gotta keep moving. And it's like when you think about it, man, it gotta get done.
Yeah, and you need and it's good to have that person to motivate. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why I'm always like texting like the group text. I keep mentioning Mikey too. He couldn't come today, but those are my like people I go to, and like everything. Even if they're not like, even if he couldn't come today, like yo, we got this interview going on with Mike Harper. Like we're doing this, doing that. Yeah. Keep them updated, you know what I mean? That way, keeps them motivated too. Like, oh, okay, Skunk doing this. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. I'm working on this beat right now as we speak. You know. Yeah. And then I get Mikey. He's like, yeah, I'll be right there. You know. So then it keeps everybody. It's good to have that group.
It's about forcing. It's like every time I get here, and it's like, yo, I always have a good interview. The energy between like the person I'm interviewing, what we're talking about, it always works out.
Sniffing that shit.
Yeah. Nah, I actually just started doing that.
That's why he has
but it helps me stay focused on what I need to talk about certain things. But it's like I said, it's just you need somebody to push you, man. Yeah. But as we close up, just give the people your social media, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, I mean, you could find me Skunk Face Music everywhere. Skunk Face Music on Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, and I got the Skunk Face page on Facebook. So everything's at Skunk Face Music, SKUNK FACE. But yeah,
and they said they can find the album all platforms.
On all platforms, yeah, it's on iTunes now and everything else, Spotify, Pandora. So it's lit. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, we got the physical copies coming soon. I can't wait to look at the cover, yo.
Hey, man. Let me know when they come in, man. Let me know when they come in.
I'll let you know when we go platinum,
Hey, man. Listen, got speaking.
Thanks, yeah.
But on Wahhabi, man, you can give them your social
media. Instagram, Wahhab Beats, pretty much SoundCloud as well, WAHAB. And, pretty much got links up in both, so.
Word. Hey, man, Wahhabi, show them some love, man. And, it's King Harp, or Mike Harper on Facebook. Instagram is King Harp 55, and Snapchat it is actually I don't want to do Snapchat. That's more personal.
You have like the little things that come out like bing. Yeah. You have like Skunk Face bing. We're here.
Yeah. I think we follow each other too. Yeah, we do. We follow each other. Of course. But that's more personal. So, but make sure you follow me on YouTube, Conscious Thoughts 77. All right, make sure you follow me, please. And if you want interviews, make sure to go to consciousthoughts77@gmail.com and just send me an email. Let me know what you do, and I'll send you an email back, and we will set up a date. But as we close, I'm gonna give you the Conscious Report. The Conscious Report is brought to you by Decorative Bright Lights. It's an innovative candle making and interior design growing company by Elisa A. Simmons. You can follow her on IG at Decorative Bright Lights. All right. So today I want to talk about compromise. All right. We compromise ourselves in ways that we don't even understand. And what I want to do is give a little definition. All right. It's accepting a job. No. My fault, I'm reading the wrong thing. That's the wrong one. Accepted standards that are lower than it's desirable. So basically it means when you compromise yourself, and I'm gonna use this example from this movie that I watched yesterday. And it actually was called Tales in the Hood too. And so this guy, he was watching this other guy sexually assault other women, grabbing their butts and everything else. So the lady tells the guy, and she's like, yeah, he does that. He did it to me too. And he said, you put up with that? And she's like, well, yeah, I believe in the overall vision. And so I said,
the fuck?
You compromised yourself because of the overall vision? And so then the other guy says, nah, it's not because of that, it's because of the paycheck you get. So we as people, we compromise ourselves for money. And in this example, she was being sexually assaulted by a guy, and it was okay because she was getting paid a certain amount of money. And what I just want to tell people is don't compromise yourself. Never compromise yourself. If you come into a deal where you have to give less of yourself, don't do it. You want to come to a deal where you can get the whole thing. And people they don't understand. They look at stuff, well, nah, it's okay, I can do it, because no, never settle for anything but the best and the greatest, because that's what you are, you're the greatest. And this is King Harp, I'm signing off, and this is Conscious Thoughts, and we are taking our identity back.